Hello, host churches, and welcome to week 3 of the Re-Enchanted series. This is the video for your house church for the Side Week. Last Sunday, because it was Side Week, we sort of started with a really big picture of what God is up to on planet Earth, and we reminded ourselves that it's not just about the one syllable up. For many of us, especially those of us who grew up in evangelical churches, the main syllable was really up. God's plan A was to have us believe certain things, and then at some point he would extract us, literally like up, out of this broken mess. But as we've learned more about the New Testament and studied these things and learned about them together, we understand that the emphasis in the New Testament isn't on up, it's not on side, it's not on down, but rather it's equally on all three. That God's intention is not just to get us to heaven, as in the up syllable idea, but to get heaven into us and onto earth. So it's not about going to heaven, it's about getting heaven here, making this world in some sense heavenly. And that's really what the kingdom of God is about. It's God's way of having this rule and reign of heaven spread out over across the globe. The kingdom of God, the side, the down, is God's way of ridding evil from human history. So we started really big, like this is what we're supposed to be about. We're the community of people that's God's plan to get rid of evil. All right, well, how on earth are we going to do that? And we realized that the main principle that we need to actually do that is we have to care about other people more than we care about ourselves. And most of us at that point go, uh-oh, that's pretty tough. Because even if my spirit wants to, even if my mind wants to, even if I'm like, that is good, I see how that works. Like I've seen marriages where people are treating the other person better than themselves, and that's actually the only way it works really well. And if that happened in the workplace and in churches and in families, of course that would work great. So maybe cognitively, we're all in. But our bodies, our whole lives have been in these environments where the spell cast on us is exactly the opposite. Take care of yourself first. Me time, downtime. I got to look out for number one. I got to get what I need, what's coming to me, all that kind of stuff. Advertising feeds it. It's just a part of who we are. It is what's currently in our bones. So my question then is, how do we recast that spell? How do we change the reactions of our bodies so that we actually have bodies that treat other people as worth more than us? That's the wrong term. Not worth more than us, but as more important than us. Our attitude needs to be the same as Jesus Christ, who thought of others as more important than himself. How do we do that? That's my question. My light bulb moment came when I realized that you got to break it down. And there are some things that I can do that I can train my body so that it responds that way over time. I can't go out every day and treat other people as more important than me. My body's just not tuned to it. And we had some pretty funny stories on Sunday. At least I hope they were funny. They're maybe a little bit sad about how my body is just not aimed in that direction the way I would want it to. But there are some things that we can do, and we touched on a few of them. I'll talk about one of them. The one that resonated with me, it wasn't so much like the generosity, the tithing. I've been doing that my whole life and releasing that money, and in that sense, releasing my control and my pride and my sense of importance, and like, you just do what you want with this money. I trust you. I've been pretty good with serving. I'm learning about showing up and attending and being there for other people. But the one that I think I need to work on is silence. And we learned how in silence, when you don't say things, it kills your pride, the pride that would say, I'm the most important person in the room and y'all need to listen to me. Did I just say y'all? I did. I said y'all. That's kind of weird. That's the fixer-upper influence there. I've been enchanted. All right, so in the room, I need to say, I don't need to say things. I need to be quiet and listen. And as that happens, my body learns that it can survive without the ego strokes of attention, and it begins to understand that I don't have to be that person. As much as I don't really want to admit that I want to be that person, my body takes me in that direction. The other thing that happens in silence is you actually get to notice people for who they are, for what they're saying, for their own unique creativity, brilliance, humor, strangeness, just this wondrous creation, this mysterious person that you're talking to. And until you're quiet and see that, how can you care for them the way that you care for yourself, or see them as important when you aren't, in some sense, even seeing them? So my conviction is just be quiet, be still, watch, listen, and let my body adjust to an atmosphere where I'm attentive to people and see what happens. My question, my light bulb, my conviction arrow, we're all kind of wrapped up in there, so I'll leave it at that. Hopefully you had a great conversation in your house church and will about these things, because there are things you can do if you choose to do them. They are in your power, that will re-enchant you and make you the kind of person who's more and more like Jesus. Remember, this isn't about willpower. This isn't about you saying, okay, now I'm a Christian, I have to treat people better than I treat myself. I have to have them be number one. I have to prioritize them. Oh, this is ever so hard. That's not where Jesus is taking you. He's taking you to a place where that's actually your natural response. And there's the joy, because you get to do everything that you want to do, that's in your heart to do, that your body wants to do. And it's good and it's freeing, because you are, not just in your mind, not just in your heart, but in your very body, like Jesus. Grace and peace, everyone. Enjoy a really rich and fruitful discussion in your house church.